Today we're going to talk about what line scores you need on the ASVAB to qualify for some of the more popular MOSs in the Army. But without further ado, let's get to it. What is up, guys? So like I just said, we're going to be talking about ASVAB line scores and which ones exactly you need to focus on for specific jobs in the Army, right? So in this video, we're going to be going over 68 Whiskey, 12 Bravo, 35 Fox, 25 Bravo, 19 Delta, and a lot of people's favorite, 11 Bravo Infantry, right? We're going to be talking exactly what line score you need for those specific MOSs, because you have your AFQT score on the ASVAB, right? Which most branches require 31 to enlist in the military. That's pretty much what the AFQT score is, that decides whether you're able to enlist in a particular branch of the military, right? But then you have these line scores, and these line scores pretty much factor, what kind of MOSs you qualify for in the military. And if you guys want a more in-depth ASVAB video going over how to study, how to pass, how to do everything like ASVAB related, I have a video just titled, ASVAB study tips and all that stuff. You can just, I'll put it up right here, guys. But I have two other recruiters on that video talking about everything you need to know about the ASVAB. But like I said, in this video, we're talking about the specific line scores. And so there's different types of line scores, right? So there's 9 sections total in the ASVAB that go over, math, arithmetic reasoning, word comprehension, things like that, right? And these line scores are made up of those sections, right? So say you score really well in arithmetic reasoning and paragraph comprehension, right? That equals, your a certain line score. And I'm going to go over it. I have it on my phone right here. So I'm going to go ahead and, list the 9 sections. Again, you can find a more in-depth video, on my previous one that I posted a couple weeks back. But the 9 sections that they typically go over, right, are your general science, arithmetic reasoning, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, mathematics knowledge, electronics information, auto and shop information, mechanical comprehension, and assembling objects. Again, I'll be putting all the screenshots up somewhere right here, guys, where you guys can see them. You guys can pause the video, you can screenshot, all that fun stuff, all right? And then you have your line scores, right? And these are what determine what MOS you qualify for in the Army, right? And certain other branches of the military, but for this video we're focusing on the Army because that's what I was in, and I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking about joining the Army, right? So jumping into it, right? Your line scores, there's a bunch of them. You have your clerical, you have your combat, electronics, field artillery, general maintenance, general technical, mechanical maintenance, operators and food, surveillance and communications, and skilled technical, right? All of these are abbreviated, and in this picture, as you can see, it has abbreviations, right? Like, for example, clerical says next to it AR, MK, PC, WK, and what those stand for, if you go back to that first picture I showed you of the sections, that shows you exactly what section correlates to helping you get that line score that you need, right? So again, if you look at the clerical one, it says, arithmetic reasoning, mathematics knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and word knowledge make up your clerical score, right? So that's going to be so on and so forth for all these MOSs once I start getting into them, okay? So keep that in mind. You can refer back to that page. You can screenshot it, pause, rewind, whatever you need to do to go back and look at that. And I'll tell you as we go on, right? So we're going to go ahead and jump into the MOSs now, right? And we'll go ahead and kick it off with 12 Bravo, right? Combat Engineer. And the best place you guys can get all this information at is the Go Army website. Literally, just go to the Go Army website, type in whatever MOS you're thinking of joining, right? It does not have to be these. It can be anyone. And it'll tell you a job description, how long the training is, and most importantly, what ASVAB line score you need to score in order to qualify for this specific MOS, right? So I'm just going to go over the line scores required. You guys can pause, read the overview, the job duties, and all that stuff on your own time, right? But this video is going over the line scores. So for 12 Bravo, Combat Engineer, I get requested to do this MOS all the time, so I figured I'd throw it in here because I personally think it's a popular MOS out there, right? And so you require an ASVAB line score of 87 in the combat section, right? So what this means is, if you look back to the other one, you have to figure out, what equals the combat, what makes up the combat line score, right? So if you look at it, it says AS, which is auto and shop information. PC, paragraph comprehension, right? And then it says mechanical comprehension as well, and last but not least, word knowledge. So those specific sections of the ASVAB make up that combat score that you need at least an 87 in to qualify for the 12 Bravo MOS, all right? So keep that in mind, and a little tip is, now that you know what you need to study for to get that line score, if you're dead set on 12 Bravo, go study those sections, right? Go watch the other video I put out previously with my 2 recruiter friends talking about it. We put a bunch of study tips, a bunch of study guides in the description box. You guys can click those and they will help you study for specific sections, all right? So be sure to check that out. I'll put that video in the description box as well, right? And before we move on any further, guys, just comment down below what MOS you would like to see me cover in the future, talking about the line scores, or if any of the MOS I'm talking about in this video are the ones that you're considering, so on and so forth. I'd really like to know, what jobs you guys are thinking of and why. Let us know. Maybe you'll make some friends down in the comment section. And if you're digging this video, you feel like it's full of information, you're getting something out of it, like it, and also subscribe. Subscribing really helps us out, guys, as well as turning on that bell notification, because you'll be immediately notified whenever I drop new content, all right? But moving on, that was 12 Bravo. So now we're gonna go to 35 Fox Intelligence Analyst, right? So information will be here again, right? You can read the overview, the job duties requirements on your own time. But for this one, your required ASVAB line score is a ST, Skilled Technical Score, of 101, right? So if you go back to the beginning, or you screenshotted the paper that showed you, what makes up that score, you can go and check it out, right? And your Skilled Technical is made up of your general science, your your mathematics knowledge, your mechanical comprehension, your paragraph comprehension, and your word knowledge. So you would want to study those specific, sections to hopefully boost up your ST score, right? Your Skilled Technical Score, if you want to be a 35 Fox, which is, again, Intelligence Analyst. So let me know if you're interested in this MOS, yes or no, why not? And moving on to the next MOS, guys, is going to be 68 Whiskey, all right? So 68 Whiskey, this is my MOS. I didn't really try to get this MOS. I didn't know what I had to study for, so that's why I'm putting out this video, just because it's answering questions that I would have had coming into the military. Maybe it'll help you guys out in deciding what MOS you want to go to, or how to devise a study plan to get the scores that you need for these MOS, right? So 68 Whiskey, again, my MOS, you're gonna need ASVAB scores, and this one has 2 that are required, right? So you're gonna need a Skilled Technical Score of 101 and a General Technical Score of 107, right? So GT score is a line score that plays a factor in a lot of MOSs, right? A lot of the good MOSs. So the higher your GT score, the better off you're gonna be, right? And so we already went over Skilled Technical and what's required of that to get that specific line score and what makes up, your overall score. So again, Skilled Technical is general science, mathematics knowledge, mechanical comprehension, paragraph comprehension, and word knowledge, right? And now if you go to General Technical Score, your GT score, it's made up of arithmetic, reasoning, paragraph comprehension, and word knowledge, right? So not as much as some of the other ones, but that's really good. So now you know what you have to focus on, and you can study. You can use the resources provided in my previous video talking about the ASVAB, or you can just Google how to boost my GT score. And then for some of you guys that may already be in the military, a lot of bases offer classes where you can boost your GT score. So if you ask about that, find a location, find where they do it, you could definitely take advantage of that resource that's available to you, whether you're active duty, reserves, guard, all that fun stuff, you know what I mean? And so those 2 line scores together, if you qualify, you meet the minimum requirements that you need, again, a 101 ST and a 107 GT, then hey, you qualify to be a 68 Whiskey. So definitely focus on that if becoming a medic in the Army is one of your goals, you know what I mean? All right, So next one is 25 Bravo, right, which is Information Technology Specialist. This one gets asked a lot of me to do a video, know your MOS type of stuff on it. And so I assume it's popular. I know a lot of people, always, just based off of how much I get asked about this MOS, I put it in this list, you know what I mean? So the required ASVAB score is a 95 ST score. And again, I'll post the description, the overview, job duties, and everything right here. But at the very bottom, it'll say required ASVAB score, and that's a skilled technical of, again, 95, right? A lot of these are skilled technical, so keep an eye out for that. And I know I've covered it already. I know I've said skilled technical a whole bunch. But again, it is made up of general science, mathematics knowledge, mechanical comprehension, paragraph comprehension, and word knowledge, right? So keep that in mind. Study for it if that's really what you want. You want a 25 Bravo job. A lot of the 25 Bravo jobs, or the 25 series jobs, offer good civilian opportunities for whenever you get out of the military. You just have to utilize what you've learned, take your certificates, and hopefully apply that, on a resume, all that stuff, and hope you get the job if that's what you're looking into, you know what I mean? And yeah, so that's 25 Bravo, right? Next up, we're going to do 19 Delta Cavalry Scout. And this is my brother's MOS, actually. Again, everything will be right here. And for this one, you need a combat score of 87 or higher. And again, we already went over what you need for a combat score, right? It goes over auto and shop information. It goes over paragraph comprehension, mechanical comprehension, and word knowledge, again, right? And a lot of these combat arms jobs are going to require a combat score of 87 or higher, you know what I mean? So keep that in mind. That is 19 Delta, all right? So start studying, get it in, and just make sure you score what you need to score in order to pass. And so last but not least, a lot of people's favorite MOS, a lot of people talking about, oh, I want to be infantry, I want to go infantry airborne, I want to, join 11 Bravo. So that's going to be the last MOS, guys. 11 Bravo infantry. And for this one, you're going to need a combat score of 87 or higher, just like 19 Delta and 12 Bravo. And we just talked about what you need for a combat score, so keep that in mind, right? Just know what sections make up that combat score, study for it, try to score high, try to get it, and maybe one day you'll be an infantryman. So keep that in mind. I really hope this video helped you out, guys. If you guys want me to do future MOSs and talking about the line scores required for them, maybe I'll do another video, but I'll probably just answer y'all's questions on Instagram. You guys can shoot me a DM through my Instagram at Ben_Allen175. Just be like, hey, what score do I need for this MOS, or blah blah blah, all that stuff. And just any other questions you have about the military in general, I'm always game to answer questions. I actually answer every single DM I get through Instagram. I answer the comments as well on the videos, but I feel like if it's a little more personal, a little more convenient, because I can just organize everything on Instagram DMs. So feel free, either comment down below what other MOSs you want to know about, or message me on Instagram like I said. But I really do appreciate you guys tuning in, watching this video, better setting yourself up for success, because now you know more or less what you need to study for the specific jobs that you're trying for in the military. Again, I can't stress this enough. Go check out our previous ASVAB video. It's 44 minutes long, talking about tips, tricks, hacks, resources, and everything available to you to help you pass the ASVAB, all right? My buddies actually absolutely killed it on that video with the information they were supplying. It is full of knowledge. I highly recommend you guys go check it out. Again, I'll put it up right here and in the description box below. And keep in mind, for these MOSs, those are line scores that are required to qualify for these MOSs. Before you can even think about line scores and qualifying for them, you got to make sure your AFQT score, which is the score required to even, start the enlistment process, a 31 or higher in most branches, is what's required. So focus on that one as well, because the higher you score on that one, possibly the higher you're going to score in the line score section. So keep that in mind. Just a little bit of tidbit of information for you guys, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe if you're new here, and share this video with somebody that may be thinking about joining the military. Tell them to subscribe as well, and turn on that bell notification. That way you guys stay up to date on all my new content. You'll be immediately notified simply by clicking the bell, turning on post notifications, and all that fun stuff. I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow, and I really hope you guys took something away. I'm Ben Allen, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.